Most guides teach you how to attack a site. In this video, I'm gonna teach you how to break it. Oregon top floor can feel like a fortress at times, but truthfully, it's full of critical flaws and weaknesses that most teams just fail to exploit. In this guide, I'm going to give you the secrets to do this flawlessly. This is the weak point analysis for Oregon top floor. Now, you might have watched the defense guide for this site already and realized, hey, I can just abuse the safe zone death zone system on my attacks to get some free kills. And you'd be completely right. Using those exterior angles to gain an early advantage is a genius move. From there, you can pivot from one play to another using that initial pressure to open up one of the weak points we're about to cover. If you're able to pick and choose from these strategies, your attacking power is going to go through the roof. Let's break down the 3 biggest weak points of this defense. Now, it's critical to understand these are not plays for your entire team to attempt at once. These are opportunistic solo pushes. Think of them as cracks in the defense's armor, being most effective when the rest of your team is applying pressure elsewhere. If the defense is blocking your team's main attack from the front, you're coming in from behind and taking them out at the knees. These are the ultimate hero plays that actually win rounds. But there's one golden rule here. If the enemy starts committing multiple players and utility to stop you, your job is no longer to make these big plays. Your new mission is to stay alive. As long as you're alive, you're an active threat, wasting both their time and resources. Simultaneously, this makes your teammates' job even easier, removing that pressure from them. The second you die though, that pressure disappears and the entire defense can now switch their focus to the rest of your team. Let's get into this analysis with the first weak point, Big Window. This push is designed to neutralize the bunk's power position and gain direct control of the bomb site. If you drone and see that the kid's bedroom wall facing bunks is not open, that's your cue to do this push. If it's reinforced, even better. This is now the freest take of your life. Before you even think about vaulting in though, your drone needs to paint a clear picture. First and foremost, you need to know if anyone is playing in that bunk's power position. At the same time, you're scanning for any traps on the window itself, like a frost mat, lesion mine, or thorn trap. And if that kid's wall is open, you absolutely have to confirm if a defender is playing there or not. Finally, check for anyone holding from top white stairs or through the game's single wall. Once you have that intel, it's time to execute. You'll want to neutralize the threats here in a specific order. First, bunks, then kids, and finally top white. For example, if you've droned out a player in bunks and one top white, you could grenade the top white player to force them back, then immediately grenade behind bunks to force that player out. As soon as you throw that second grenade, you vault in, aiming directly at bunks to take them out as they're running from the grenade. And if you've watched my previous attacking video for the basement of Oregon, you'd know that we just completed a full round of the unbreakable attacking cycle, gaining information, executing with our utility, and taking control of the area. If you haven't watched that video yet, go there directly after this one. It's the very first attacking video in the playbook and arguably the most important. Next up is the games room, where a rappel on the window can lead to 2 outcomes, a quick free kill on a rotating defender or a full entry to take control of the room itself. While a quick peek for a kill is always an option, the real green light to enter is seeing that the wall at the top of white stairs has no holes in it, or even better, it's completely reinforced. For this play, your drone has to answer 3 critical questions before you rappel in. Is there a defender inside of games? Is anyone positioned in attic? And could a defender swing me from the trophy doorway? Let's break down a common scenario where things don't go to plan. You've droned through trophy, found a player in games, but before you can check attic, your drone gets shot. This is where we apply the rule of unknowns. Because attic is now an undroned space, we must treat it as an active threat. You need to use your utility to deal with both the known enemy in games and the potential enemy in attic. You would first throw a flashbang towards attic to temporarily block that angle and then immediately throw your second flash into games and rappel in. As that second flash pops, you're capitalizing on the known player, confident that you've mitigated the immediate danger from the unknown angle in attic. Once you've won your fight in games, you have control of the power position and can refocus on the reaction of the defense from the other areas. The final solo exploit is jumping in through the attic window to take control of pit. The cue for this is noticing that the defense is distracted. You'll hear a significant amount of utility or gunfire coming from the trophy and master side of the map, which will draw the attention of anyone playing in pit. Before you commit though, use a drone through the outside drone hole to answer these questions. Firstly, is there anyone playing in attic? More specifically, pit, which is that lower area that connects into the bomb site. Is the attic hatch open, exposing you to angles from meeting? Are there any traps, like frost mats under the window or the drop into pit? And finally, what lines of sight has the defense opened? Can they be holding you from these areas? Once you have that intel, your entire play depends on one question. Is pit occupied? If it is, you're currently at a disadvantage and must use utility before hopping in. From the window, bank a flashbang off the shelf to blind the defender. This simple move turns an unwinnable fight into a massive advantage, letting you jump in and take control. If you see that pit is empty, however, that's your automatic green light. Don't hesitate, just get in there right away and take up that power position. Once you're in, your next move depends on the kid's bedroom wall. If it's reinforced or closed off, you can lurk towards the game's doorway and set up a devastating crossfire through the site. If the rotate is open, a patient hold on the dropdown can net you a free kill on a defender rotating in from here. Alright, so those are the high impact solo plays that can crack a site open, but now let's talk about the main coordinated push that makes those plays even stronger. This is the core framework for a methodical and devastating top floor attack. I call it the Attacking Trinity. This entire strategy is built on 3 crucial jobs being performed successfully. Understanding how each of these roles plays out is how you'll be more effective individually. Job 1 is the anchor. This player's first priority is your team's safety. Their job is to prevent a single defender from dismantling the entire push from behind by shutting down the flank routes to the Z-Hall, laundry stairs, and meeting. A pro level move here is for this player to slowly and safely make their way to white stairs throughout the attack, arriving for the final execute from a whole other direction. Nomad or Lion are fantastic options for this. Job 2 is the support. They're responsible for establishing a presence on the master balcony and eventually opening the main reinforced closet wall. They are holding the key to unlocking the site, but they have to be alive in order to do it. Because they only need control of a couple of rooms before getting into the site, they can take their time getting out of spawn and into a safe position on the balcony. My top recommendation for this is Thermite, as opening that main breach fully makes the final execute much easier. Our final component of the Trinity is the entry. This is the most aggressive role. This player is responsible for leading the push up main stairs, using their utility to gain control of armory and locking the defenders into the site from this direction. They can assist either the flank watch or the support, being in the perfect position to pivot if needed. Now, with the flank held down and the Trinity established, the next step is for the entry and support to work together to clear out trophy and gain that control. Once that's done, you're now in the ideal position to win the round. Any wall denial can be cleared from below thanks to your flank watch, and the hard breacher can open up the main breach. Staying alive and watching for aggression is the key now, as the defenders fight to gain that control back. The support should continue holding the breach, and the entry should lock down the trophy swing, creating an impenetrable hold on the site. But how does this all come together? Where do you go from here? This is the crucial moment that 95% of teams completely mess up. They overpeak, die, and miss out on the easiest attacking win of their life. Well, we still have 2 other players on the team, and all this control opens up space for those 2 players to become the solo play specialists we talk about in Chapter 1. They can now safely make their play on big window or flank through attic because the Trinity has gained all the defenders' attention. This is how you create an organized, lethal, and completely overwhelming final attack. And if those players are dead and useless, as they usually are, then hope is still not lost. Whether it's with your flashbangs or your leftover operator abilities, you can attempt to cross the bomb site from the breach and get a safe plant down in games. Have your teammates cover as best they can, and this sketchy round can transform into an unstoppable post plant. Playing from outside on the balcony now makes it nearly impossible for them to defuse, as you have long lines of sight on the diffuser and a ton of cover. But here's what makes this take so powerful. A single skilled player can technically perform all 3 of the Trinity jobs entirely on their own. It isn't as impenetrable as the 3-person approach, but it's absolutely deadly in solo queue. Let's walk through it. So let's say you're playing Striker, one of the best solo queue attackers. You start by droning out your flank, seeing if any defenders are playing on the main floor. As you walk into lobby, you'll hold the flank for yourself for a moment to be sure to avoid siege timing. Now you pivot. You use flashes to clear out the armory player and take the control. Then you rotate back to the master balcony, drone out master, and use your hard breach gadgets to open the main breach. You've single-handedly executed the entire Trinity, completely dismantling the defense and gaining all of that map control entirely on your own. So whether you're playing solo and becoming a one-man army, or playing in a team and sinking the Trinity with the weak points, you now have a complete system for breaking the Oregon top floor. It's not just a set of instructions, but a framework for how to think. And that is how you move to the next level of Rainbow Six Siege. If you want to get early access to every single video, including these masterclass guides, then make sure to become a member with the link in the description. Or just subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future episodes. Click the video on the left to learn how to defend this site, and click the video on the right to learn the unbreakable attacking cycle and win every single basement attack on Oregon. See you next time.